A lot has been going on in the football world, and we are starting to hear crazy things happening here and there, like court cases, controversies, players' attitudes and their applications, more court cases with little rumor flying around, and all that drama just makes football on and off the pitch more interesting. Good day, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. Now let's talk about some of the interesting things that are happening already in football, like players getting injured, Messi's famous chokehold, the Premier League's decision that would have changed the direction of the upcoming transfer window. Now recently, players have been playing too many games in a tight schedule, and they're starting to see the impacts of playing so many games. The average footballer plays around 70 matches in a normal football year, and that includes pre-season fixtures and international break friendlies. This means that the player plays at least one game every 5 days, without injury that is. And this number goes insanely high for players that are playing for big clubs, and this has caused an increase in the level of fatigue among players, and we're starting to see players lose from overtime because of the tight schedule. Some players have come out and spoken up about the issue and have criticized the number of matches that they play. And let's be honest here, everybody hates to see their favorite player go for international break and get injured and miss out, especially when they have a big game to play for the club. And FIFA doesn't seem to care because they are still trying to add more matches to the already congested calendar. I mean, some months ago they introduced the new FIFA Club World Cup, and it's not like a regular FIFA Club World Cup. This one has 32 teams, so there are more matches to play, and that's good news for us the viewers, and people can say the players are paid very well. To be fair, that's a very good argument, but these players are human beings, and the insane amount of fixtures will only lead to more injuries over time. I was arguing with my friend the other day, and he said with the number of fixtures that they play, players like Mbappe and Haaland will easily break Messi and Ronaldo's goal scoring records. And I mean, that could be possible, but I don't think that will ever happen. Yes, they are scoring more goals, but I don't think these players will be able to do it for the long run if this continues. What I think we'll be seeing will be big name players going on injury for 6-7 months. And if this continues, I doubt if any of these players will be able to play till 35. And we're already seeing little of this happen in the Premier League. It recorded 196 injuries over 3 months. And this usually affects the club, especially when it's a big player. Now they'll be looking for players to sign or loan to play for the meantime while the other player recovers. And clubs like Chelsea and Newcastle have a long list of injured players. Now they'll be looking for players to sign or loan for the time being. And with the transfer window just a month away, some clubs will be looking to bring in more players to reinforce the squad, like Newcastle, who will be looking to sign a new midfielder at least on loan, while Tonali has been banned from football for 10 months due to excessive gambling. Now, a few days back, some Premier League clubs came up with a proposal to ban Premier League clubs that are related to other clubs from making related party loans in the coming transfer windows. That is, clubs that are owned by the same people. For example, Man City is owned by CFG, and Girona, who are at the top of the La Liga table, are also owned by CFG. So this will stop clubs like Man City from signing players from Girona on loan. But the thing is, they've been doing this for years, and there are many other clubs that are owned by the same people, like Chelsea, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, Brighton, and so on. They've had no issue with it until recently, as Newcastle are looking for a new midfielder ever since Tonali was banned for 10 months of football. And there have been rumors about Newcastle trying to sign Ruben Neves on loan for the remainder of the season. And some other clubs are getting worried because Newcastle are owned by PIF. And PIF not only owns Newcastle, but they own clubs like Al Nassr, Al Ahly, Al Ittihad, and Al Hilal. And if you know those clubs, they have big name players who just joined the Saudi Pro League teams. And legally, Newcastle is allowed to loan any player of their choice, which means they could sign Ronaldo, Benzema, Mahrez, Sadio Mane just in this transfer window. So the other clubs are having a big problem with it. But something of this nature has happened before in the past, like in the 2014-2015 season. Man City signed Frank Lampard on loan from New York City FC, and nobody had an issue with it then. After the proposal, the Premier League teams voted on the matter, and in order for a law to be passed, they would need at least 14 clubs to vote in favor of the temporary ban. But only 13 clubs voted for the motion, and 7 other clubs didn't agree. So the law cannot be passed, and the situation remains the same. But news about Newcastle trying to sign Ruben Neves on loan is still rumor, and nothing has been confirmed yet. But it's understandable why other Premier League clubs will be worried, and if Newcastle were to carry out their plan this winter, there is nothing stopping them. but a new law may be passed to permanently address the situation later on in the future. Now let's talk about the more interesting controversies that happened during the international break. The match Argentina versus Uruguay was very physical, and there were a lot of things that happened during that match. But one of the main moments was when Rodrigo de Paul got into a fight with another Uruguayan player. Both players started pushing themselves, and teammates on both sides rushed in to interfere. Both teams clashed with each other, and there was a moment when Messi came in between Rodrigo de Paul and Oliveira, I think to separate the fight. And Messi could be seen putting his hands on Oliveira, basically choking him. And after the situation was settled, people on the internet became mad and furious, saying, where's the red card for Messi? Messi is supposed to get a red card for that offense. And it caused a lot of people to argue about on Twitter or on X, with people basically saying, we've seen other players do this before, and they were all giving straight red cards. This made people to call Messi all sorts of names. And after some time, everything started dying down until the very next match, when Messi almost got physical again with another player. This was the match between Argentina and Brazil, and there was so much tension between both country supporters, and it ended up getting violent. This made the Argentine team go back to the dressing room because all the commotion and violence caused the match to be delayed by 30 minutes. And then Rodrigo, who is a player for Brazil, woke up to Messi and was calling the Argentinian players cowards for going back to the locker room until all the commotion and violence was settled. Messi was shocked and replied, "We are the world champions. Why are we cowards? Look at your mouth." And that's how we got this picture of Messi putting his hands on another player, and people had their different opinions and their perspectives on the matter. You have some people saying Messi is old and it's probably his ego, and some other people saying Rodrigo is disrespectful. Anyways, anybody can be the judge on that. Speaking more on Messi, despite rumors of Messi versus Ronaldo, Inter Miami versus Al Nassr were denied by Inter Miami, fans are still hopeful that the match will still take place, and maybe it's just a poorly hidden secret and everybody is talking about it. I mean, I would love to see it too. Even Fabrizio is pumped up about it. So let's just be hopeful that we get to see Messi and Ronaldo go against each other for the last time. Now, on the touching stories, Edward Mendy is suing Man City over unpaid wages. Well, if you don't know, Mendy was found not guilty of all charges against him when he was accused of raping. Due to the allegations, he was disgraced and suspended from the club and spent time in prison for a crime he didn't even commit. And all this happened in September 2021. He wasn't paid till he left in June 2023. And this is a very touching story that has happened time and time again. He's a victim of false allegations, and he's another example of guilty till proven innocent. The figure he's looking for is around 9 to 10 million in unpaid wages. To be honest, I'm still surprised as to why Man City haven't even paid him. I mean, he was cleared and he was acquitted. 2 years of his life has gone for something he didn't do. But now he's trying to get his life around and he's playing for Lorient in Ligue 1. I hope to see him succeed in this battle and win yet another case for himself. And more on accusations of sexual assault. Dani Alves could face up to 9 years in prison if he's found guilty. He doesn't need any introduction. If you know football, you know Dani Alves. And he's one of the greatest right backs in the history of football. He's won over 42 titles in his career. He was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in a nightclub sometime after the World Cup last year. He denies any wrongdoing and he says it was all consensual. And he also said, "It will never cross my mind to impose any sexual act on anyone." After he was arrested, he was denied bail, and now the prosecutors want him to face 9 years in prison if he's found guilty. Just after the allegations against him, his wife announced that she is no longer his wife and they've split up. I guess even if he's declared innocent, you can't just get over the fact of the infidelity and that he was cheating, and all this got him into trouble. But it's sad to see that he has spent almost a year in prison and he has not been proven guilty yet. Anyway, I hope justice prevails, and if he's found guilty, then so be it. If he's innocent, then it will be another sad false accusation case that we are forced to witness. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the whole situation? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you somewhat enjoyed this video, please like and